Do you ever feel like you're good at nothing? Like everyone around you has a talent, a skill, or a purpose, while you're still trying to figure out yours? Maybe you've watched others succeed and wondered, what do they have that I don't? If you've ever felt that way, listen closely, because a few moons ago, a young boy learned a lesson that changed his life forever. In a small village surrounded by green hills, there lived a boy named Alan. Alan believed he wasn't special. No matter what he tried, someone else always seemed better. Some children were great at sports, others were talented musicians, some were admired for their intelligence. But Alan couldn't find anything that made him stand out. One day, tired of feeling worthless, he visited a wise monk. "Master," Alan said, "everyone around me seems to have a gift, but no matter how hard I try, I always fall short. I feel like I'm good at nothing." The monk listened quietly. Then he handed Alan a wooden pole with two clay pots hanging from each side. One pot was perfect. The other had a crack running down its side. "Every morning," the monk said, "bring water from the river using these pots." Confused but respectful, Alan agreed. Each day, he filled both pots and carried them back to the monastery. And every day, the cracked pot leaked water along the path. By the time Alan arrived, it was only half full. Weeks passed, then months. Finally, Alan asked, "Master, why don't you replace the cracked pot? It loses water every day." The monk smiled. "Tomorrow, pay attention to the path." The next morning, Alan looked carefully as he walked. To his surprise, one side of the trail was covered with beautiful flowers, bright yellow, deep purple, vibrant red. They stretched all the way from the river to the monastery. When he returned, the monk asked, "What did you notice?" "The flowers," Alan replied. "They were beautiful." The monk nodded. "Long ago, I planted seeds along that side of the path." Then he pointed to the cracked pot. Every day, water leaked from that crack and watered those seeds. Alan's eyes widened. The monk smiled. The perfect pot carried water. But the cracked pot carried water and gave life to a garden. For a moment, Alan stood silent. Then the monk said, "You've been treating yourself the same way. You focus on your flaws and compare yourself to others. But you never stop to see the good those flaws may create. Perfection isn't what makes something valuable. Sometimes our weaknesses become our greatest gifts." Alan finally understood. The very thing he thought made him less valuable could be the thing that made him unique. From that day forward, he stopped comparing himself to others, and instead, he focused on the good he could bring into the world. So if you've been feeling like you're not good enough, remember the cracked pot. The things you see as flaws may be creating beauty in ways you cannot yet see.